Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Advantech November webinar. My name is Kui from IoT Industrial Connectivity Marketing team. Today, I'm very happy to invite our Europe Product Sales Manager, Boris, to present us the latest launched industrial cellular router, the ICR-3200 series. So now I'm going to pass my microphone to Boris. Hello, Boris.
Hi, Kui. Thank you very much for introduction.
No problem.
Good evening or good morning to everybody. It's nice to have you here on our webinar. And as Kui said, I'm going to introduce you our new the router ICR-32 series with some different part numbers for different locations, which I will explain you later. Let's start. And the very first, I hope you can see properly. My screen, excellent. So the very first slide is about the visual design of our new router, which is also not just a router but the gateway, which I'm going to explain you later. And this is how it looks like. Maybe some of you already saw it, maybe not. But here it is. And let's go to the two more details. So this is the same platform as our the latest or the most new platform Wi-Fi, which are Smart Router, Smart Start, and Smart Flex and Smart Motion. For those of you who familiar with our current product lines, I can say that this is the same hardware platform with the same performance, with the same CPU 1 GHz and with the same software stack. So there is nothing new in order of the software. So the new router is going to support all what you are waiting or expecting to it is supports. For those of you who don't know yet our routers, I'll explain some bites of these details in this webinar. But if you are interested to learn more, you can contact me or join our different webinars where I'm explaining more details about the software features and so on. Let's go further. So as I said, the hardware platform is the same, but except of the flash memory. The flash memory in the new router is different compared to the previous. So it's today it is 4 gigabyte flash memory, which is this technology a pseudo single level cell, and there is a 1.3 gigabyte space for user data and user modules. Comparing to current version, it is much more, 10 times more roughly. The current version has only 128 megabytes for the same data. And here we have 1.3 gigabytes. And also it is the flash memory or boot time of the router is 2 times faster because of the new flash memory. Even though in the past we never had any complaint about the booting time of our routers, and usually in some compression tests our routers won those tests on booting time. Even though with the flash memory the boot time 2 times faster. It supports the LTE category 4 with fallback to 3G and 2G, and category 4 means that supports the speeds for download 150 and for upload 50 megabits. It has a robust metal industrial housing. It's really industrial feel. Once you will get in your hands this router, you will get to know that it's feeling really good, really industrial. You can expect that it will fit in exactly to the expectation from the industrial design of your customers. The router has two SIM card slots, as you can see, but compared to the previous models, this router has SIM card slots covered with some shield, and that based on the feedback from the market, as I explained that we in our designing process and developing process, we are trying to keep our fingers on the pulse of the market and trying to listening to feedback from our customers and partners. Yeah, and this improvement was brought based on the feedback from the exactly partners and customers when they wanted to protect SIM cards being being easily unmounted from the router. So it's not, of course, it's still possible, yeah, but it's much more. You need more time to do that with the cover, yeah. So and that protects to SIM cards being unplugged by some vandals or something like this, yeah. Then there is a on a PCB board there is a space for the embedded SIM card, yeah, for the chip SIM card. So it means that the router is able to handle a chip SIM card, which is the SIM card. It's a small chip which is soldered on a PCB, yeah, and you are not able to unmount it. And this is also done based on the feedback from the market and from the our customers, which are mobile carriers, which would like to offer to the market the chip SIM cards. Yeah, and the model for business for current business model is that the mobile carriers through partners or through customers deliver to us those chip SIM cards, and we solder it for you and ship you back. Yeah, it's not the eSIM cards. It's not because the eSIM cards means that the chip SIM cards is able to use with whatever mobile carrier, and you just are able to upload the SIM card's profile to the router. It's not that yet. Yeah, it's a chip SIM card means that this chip card dedicated for a specific mobile carrier. Yeah, and the reason is just because there are only 9 network ready for real eSIM cards on the market, but we expect that within next a year the number will grow rapidly, so we are ready for that as well. Yeah, and also there is just an explanation how it works when the chip SIM cards is on a PCB board and you want to use the normal SIM cards. So there is a logic, the hardware logic on the router. So once you put a normal standard SIM card into the SIM card slot 1, the embedded SIM card, the chip SIM card, is disconnected and no longer used. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go forward. The ports or interfaces. The router has 2 Ethernet ports, 1 megabits, and we believe that the 2 Ethernets covers most of the requests, not all of them, of course. For that reasons, we have Smart Flex, which is able to carry up to 5 Ethernets, for example. But mostly the customers or applications are able to work with just 2 Ethernet ports. Yeah, and those Ethernet ports are possible to configure as 2 independent networks, of course, or as a switch. Then there is on the side a serial port with RS232 and RS485 and 1 I/O module. Means 1 binary or digital input and 1 digital output. Then there is a grounding clamp which is also based on a feedback from the market. We've had some, especially in energy applications, we've had some feedback that it would be nice if the router would carry a grounding clamp. Yeah, so we brought that, and it's possible to ground the router, which is the ground screw is connected to the PCB board and to the housing. Yeah. Then the power connector, we switch back to the terminal block. We have already the same design in second generation of our routers, but then after that we switched to different power connectors, which didn't match really expectation of the market, and the feedback from the market was also that the terminal block, simple terminal block, is the best way. So we listened to it and we brought back the terminal block. So it's easy to to connect whatever power supply you have to the router, and counterpart is delivered with the router. Then we improved the resin button behavior, because in the past we comparing to the other equipment available on the market, our resin button worked differently, and it confused users. So we of course decided to improve it and to align it to what is on the market, what is expected on the market. So today, or since this router, it works like the short press, less than 4 seconds, it just reboot, and long press, it's a factory reset. LEDs are being done so that they are visible from both sides, from the top of the router and from the front of the router. So dependless on the way you mount the router, you still are able to see LEDs. And also LEDs were improved. These are multicolor LEDs, and it gives you a lot of information just from a glance on LEDs. So you can see as it is described below. So for example, you can see the signal level. If it is green, then it's good. If it's yellow, it's fair, but it's red, weak. Yeah. Or for example, you are even able to identify the technology a router is connected, not router, a SIM card is connected, because you have there 2 SIM cards. So for each SIM card, you are able by the color of LED to check which technology it is on currently. So if it is green, then it is LTE. If it is yellow, it means 3G, and if it is red, then it means it's 2G. There are 2 possible ways to mount the router. It's a DIN clip, of course, which is highly desired on the industrial market, and wall mounting. And those wall mounting wings, which you can see on the sides, they're unmounted. Yeah, so you can unmount them if you like to use them. So they are not necessary to router to carry them. Then there is a additional version with WSN, and it means that this is a version with Wi-Fi on it. Yeah, and the Wi-Fi, we're going to use the really strong new chipset, Wi-Fi chipset, which is working with the BGNS CAS technologies, providing you speeds up to 100.5 gigabits on the network on the Wi-Fi interface, and it's able to work in multi-user MIMO. Yeah, so the number of possible clients is extended comparing to our previous version. So in theory, it is unlimited number of clients, but of course you cannot expect that you are current like hundreds of them, but I think like 50 clients is just okay to be connected to the router. Then there is also a glass receiver. GNS receiver, and which supports all the positioning popular current positioning networks like GPS, GLONASS, Baidu, Galileo, and QTFS, which is Japanese version. The router supports all our standard software platforms, which are RCnet, Web Access, DMP, and Smart Cluster. And just a couple of words about those softwares. So the RCnet is a network monitoring platform working with SNMP. So it is collecting SNMP or collecting data about routers in your networks by SNMP and doing visualization and some simple alarms. Yeah, you can use it. It's simple application, but it's very popular. Even our biggest customer with 25,000 routers in one network in one country using daily RCnet. Then there is a smart cluster, which is a VPN solution. And this is a topic for an additional webinar, of course, but just a sentence about how it works. It's a VPN server which gives you an ability to easily, without just a couple of clicks, create a VPN tunnel to remote destination, to the remote router. And this application is very popular and used in, for example, machine builders, which are producing their products and selling across the world, and they want or need to maintain this remote products and need to have an ability to connect independently from the local networks to their equipment. So they use the routers with the smart cluster. If you want to know more, just let me know and I'll explain you better. And then there is last but definitely not least, it's the most important piece of software. It's a Web Access DMP, and this is our network management and provisioning system. So within the Web Access, you're able to completely manage your network of the routers. You're able to change the configuration. You're able to upload the additional software plugins and so on and so on. And you're able to do we call it zero-touch provisioning. It means that you can do you can create a configuration profile within the Web Access DMP and assign it to a number of routers, let's say 500, 700 or whatever. And the router does not have to be configured manually. You just deliver the router to the remote destination and switch it on, put SIM cards, and the router automatically connect to the server, which could run in cloud or on your own server, on-premise version, and download the configuration and reboot itself, and it's done. The configuration is done. So really easy to do, and you don't have to have any engineers in remote destinations. Yeah, this is it. As I said, the router is not just a router, it's a gateway. So it means that router is capable to not just doing network routing and VPN connectivity. It's also able to work with data locally on the edge of the network. So it means that the router is, for example, is able to convert protocols. So we're speaking about protocols like Modbus, for example, to convert Modbus R2U to TCP, or for example, IC101, 104. It's also able to run platforms like Node-RED. For those of you who is not familiar with that platform, I strongly recommend you to take a look. This is a programming tool, really easy to use for even those who are not programmers, and it gives you an ability to easily create some applications running inside the router. So the router or gateway is with Node-RED is kind of industrial PC, simple industrial PC. And then of course you are able to create the user modules. This is software plugins we use for the routers by yourself within Python or within C++. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then on the left side you can see different platforms, cloud platforms. The router is able to send data to. Yeah, and we have some specific user modules which are clients for those platforms. So you're able to send data by MQTT, for example, to ThinkWorks, Ignition, Microsoft Azure, Cumulocity, and many more. It's not; are not all of them on the picture. Yeah. So let's go forward. This is as I said, there are a number of different part numbers to cover all different networks or countries or regions. So in the Central or in EMEA, means European Union, Middle East, and Africa, we're going to use the part number which calls ICR. ICR actually stands for Industrial Cellular Routers. Yeah, and it's going to call ICR-3200. Then there is a module for North America, ICR-3200. And then there is a module for Australia and New Zealand, which is ICR-3232. And then for South America, because networks there are different, then we have all those three models to cover each country needs. Yeah, so you can choose any of these models to be suitable for dedicated network, dedicated country. Yeah, and more details. So this is 3231, and these are the frequencies which are supported there. And it simply means that you are able to run the router within any country within the EMEA region. And then we also support the band 28, you can see with star, and it is highlighted because this frequency is not in use yet in the European Union. It's going to be brought from the different services to the LTE network, and it's going to be brought within the next maybe year or two. But router is already ready to work on this frequency. Yeah, so you don't have to then reinvest your money to another equipment. The router is just ready to work. Yeah, for that. And then there is a North America version and Canada version with also different set of the frequencies. Some specific bands are the FirstNet, which is public safety network in North America or in US, and it means that it's possible to use router for ambulances, for example, or fire machines and so on. And also the second band, band 71, 6 megahertz. It's simply the same story as 7 megahertz in Europe. Yeah, it's a digital dividend. You can read a bit more on the internet. You'll find definitely this information, but simply means that there is another frequency or band which is going to be available for the network, LTE communication, and the router is ready for that. And then there is Australia and New Zealand, and you can see again different set of the bands supported, but it simply means that you're able to run the router within the network in those countries. The package of the product includes DIN clip, then wall mount kit, and power and serial connector, a counterpart of the connector. And it does not have any power supply or antennas. It's not a set really, so you have to buy the power supply or antenna separately, and it means that's due because the requirements for the power supplies and for antennas in different applications are really different. So it makes almost no sense to have the set includes those accessories. Yeah, because the people or companies using different power supplies and antennas. Support information. So we're providing 3 years warranty for this model, and these are certifications which are applied for this product. So it's ERET, it's for Europe. Then it's EMARC, FCC, and you can see those list of the certificates. If you have any questions about any other certifications, please contact me and I will help you to find out. This is the product positioning. So you can see our products placed on the chart with price and features or performance. You can see that ICR is not on the top. On the top is the Smart Flex, just because it's not because of the performance, but because of the features, hardware features. It means that Smart Flex is more flexible. You have like options, SD cards, power over Ethernet, more combination of the ports, and so on. That's why. But you can see that ICR, even though it has 2 Ethernets and 2 serial ports, it's much less expensive than Smart Flex. Yeah, and then you can see the rest of our products on the chart. Yeah, and let me talk you, or let me give you some example of the case study in energy market, and I will tell you at the end of this case study a reason why I wanted to give you this example. So it's a real application, a real case study from one European country, and there is a energy distribution company which decided to rebuild their grid, their energy distribution network, to be able to face or to answer the current grid challenges, like with electricity cars and some renewable energy sources like wind turbines and so on, windmills. So they needed to replace the communication part on 1,000 sites and to build another 4,000 new. And they decided to build a communication layer completely based on our orders. But they have some challenges. One of these challenges was legacy protocols. On those 1,000 sites, there are PLCs, old style PLCs, which communicate with ESC101, which is serial protocol. But there is SCADA, of course, working on the TCP stack, and they needed ESC104. The second challenge was different types of sites. So they have like different substations and reclosers and so on, and they're not the same. Yeah, and the different physical interfaces are needed for different sites. So this was the second challenge. The third was that they have high priority sites, which should not be downtime at all. And then security, of course, because it's energy application, redundancy, and also, as you saw, there is a big amount of sites for a load. So how we answer those challenges? The legacy protocols. We have a user module, which is software plugin, and which is simply the protocol conversion. Yeah, does the protocol conversion from serial to IP, protocol, and from 101 to 104. The different type of sites was answered with different products. So you can see there are 3 models in use: Smart Start, Smart Flex, and Smart Motion. And you can see that Smart Flex has 5 Ethernets. Smart Start has 1 Ethernet and 1 serial port, and Smart Motion has only 2 Ethernet, but it's a specific router with 2 cellular modules inside. Yeah, but dependless, or even though the hardware is not the same, it's really different, but the software is the same. Yeah, and for the customer, it is very important, so they can run the whole network, solid network, without being, without being needed to use different vendors for different locations, and also they don't have to pay for any additional interfaces if they don't use it. So they choose from our portfolio exactly what they needed, and the software part is the same. High priority sites, short downtimes, was answered by Smart Motion, and the Smart Motion is a router with 2 cellular routers, or sorry, modules inside. Yeah, so there are 2 wireless connectivity working simultaneously within different mobile carriers, and they're sending the same data simultaneously. And there is also the satellite backup. So the uptime of those locations is almost 100%. Security, the network is working first within the private IPN, this is a typo, it's IPN, which means the virtual private network, or mobile carrier provided private network. Yeah. And on top of that, the communication is done via IPsec VPN tunnel, which is the protocol from Cisco. Yeah, and because they use you have a number of choices for the VPN connectivity, but because the customer is using the Cisco devices on the server side, they needed to do remote hardware supporting the IPsec. So no problem with us. We have a great experience with IPsec. Redundancy. There are 2 checkpoints in the network, and so routers are sending data simultaneously to 2 different checkpoints, mirroring data, and then from those checkpoints, data are going to the SCADA server. Big amount rollout was done with Web Access DMP, which I already a bit explained to you. So there is a zero-touch deployment, remote management, monitoring. It's possible. It's available with 2 versions, cloud and on-premise. It's available for testing for free for up to 10 devices. So if you are interested, let me know, and I'll provide you more details how to do that. And it's also possible to do the site-specific configuration. So it means, in simple words, it means that even though you have a configuration profile which assigned to 1,000 different routers, and you have 99% of the configuration same for all routers, you are still able to have a parameter or a number of parameters specific for each device. So for example, you can assign individually IP addresses if it's not done automatically, and you have to done it manually. You can do the same configuration profile, but with only IP addresses different for each device, and it's been done very simply and easily. Yeah, and this is how the whole network looks like at the end. So there are different priority sites and different models, but yeah, all the data finally end up in SCADA. And I promised you to explain why I wanted to show this example. simply because this shows very well the greatest benefit from our routers. Because if you take a look on each feature of our routers individually, it probably will not be exclusive. I mean, there are some vendors which providing the AC 101 to 104 conversion, or there are some vendors which of course have some network management platforms, maybe not that good as we do have, but they also have. But if you took all together those features which are used in this case, I mean the protocol conversion, the zero touch provisioning, the different platforms or hardware platforms with the same software features, then we are unique. You will not find any other vendor which is able to provide you the same set of functionality as we do. Yeah, and we are really proud of it. Yeah, so we and taking in account quality and everything, we are really proud of it. So this is it. Yeah, I think this is end of my presentation, and now this is the questions and answer session. So please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be glad to answer that.
Thank you, Boris. Thank you for introducing us the product introduction and also sharing with us the energy case study. And as mentioned before, this is the time for questions. If you have any question regarding the presentation, please type it down. We will answer it after 5 minutes. Thank you.